Hey everybody, welcome back to ChaseyKPlays. We're gonna do something a little different here. We're gonna play some Magic Arena, and you can see me now. I guess this is like a face reveal, kinda. I mean, if you've watched the Casual Hour or anything like that, I show my face there, so probably nothing new, but I guess it's a first for the channel. Yeah, we're just gonna play a little bit of Standard here in Magic Arena, because I like Magic a lot, and I've started playing Arena because I don't have a ton of friends in real life who play Magic, and it's a great way to play some Magic. I'm probably going to be playing with this deck here that I really like. Let's show it off for you a little bit. So there's a YouTuber named Phantasm who makes some decks that he calls Zero Rare, where he just doesn't use any rare cards. Actually, man, I don't know how my face is working on here. I can't. I have to have it on a second monitor, so you probably are missing some of these things. But we've got 4 Ginger Root here. Sorry, basically back to the Phantasm thing. He made a couple of these zero rare Azorius decks, blue-white decks that seemed really cool to me, and so I kind of took both of those, smashed them together. Added in some rares and mythics because I wanted the deck to play a little bit more smoothly and have a little bit more power to them, and then take that here into Arena. So just running through this relatively quickly. The idea here is we're artifacts, we're aggressive, and we turn those artifacts into some kind of tricky things. So we've got 4 Ginger Root here. He's a mainstay here. 1/1 haste for 1, nice, and also that ability to can't be blocked except by creatures with haste is really nice. We can get in for some big damage that people do not see coming. You got Spyglass Siren as another 1-drop here. Drops an artifact on the table and is a 1/1 flyer, which can also be nice. And then we have 4 Case of the Filched Falcon, which is one of those new cases from Murders at Karlov Manor. It's an enchantment. It throws an artifact on the table, and you can turn one of your non-creature artifacts, so maybe the map token from Spyglass or the clue token from Filched Falcon, into a 4/4 bird. You can do that at instant speed, so it can be something that if an opponent isn't paying attention, you can bring a big blocker out. Or just if the clue token's already been out, it's not putting a new creature on the table, so you could kind of put a hasty creature out there on a different turn. It's pretty useful. Mandible Justiciar. This is a great thing with artifacts here. The lifelink is really useful here, keeping us in games. And then when you get things like Spyglass Siren or Case of the Filched Falcon or Ginger Root or some of these other artifacts too, this thing's going to keep growing, and that's really useful. Just grows for the turn, but it still grows. You can still do some cool things with it. Michiko here. This is probably the best card in the deck. Maybe the second best card in the deck. Because we have so many things like Case of the Filched Falcon, which is an enchantment itself and throws a clue on the table, this thing is just going to make some creatures huge, and then it becomes a huge creature itself once it transforms. Really great thing. It also works great with Ossification, which is part of our removal. We've got 4 copies of Ossification. We also have 2 copies of Borrowed Time. Very similar kind of cards where we're exiling cards from the opponents. Ossification only does creatures and planeswalkers. Borrowed Time can do anything. Well, any non-land permanent, I suppose. But still pretty flexible. These things stay on the table, so they are other enchantments for Michiko to get bonuses on. But then they also take away threats, which can be really, really nice. Surge Engine is one of the newer cards I put in here. It's not a new card, but it's new for the deck. I used to have Combat Thresher. That was one of the ones that Phantasm used, which was a prototype card that had double strike and could be a 1/1, or if you played it bigger, it could be a 3/3. And it's a nice card. But Surge Engine, it's cheaper, and it's cheaper to cast, and 3/2 Defender is kind of whatever, but then you can pay 1 blue and it loses defender and then it can't be blocked. So it's kind of just like a better Ginger Brute at that point. And just having another artifact that can get in for damage without being touched is really nice. It can then become a 5/4. It can also draw you cards if you're really desperate, but we rarely have to use that because the games don't last that long, one way or the other. I could lose the games, but we don't get a ton of long games with this deck. Malcator's Watcher, a 1/1 flying vigilance artifact creature that's really useful. It's nice when we can boost this thing up with something like Michiko and force the opponent to kill it, because then we still get a card when it dies, which is kind of nice. But more often than not, the flying and vigilance make it really evasive, and if you pump it up with something like Michiko or some of the other cards we've got here, it can do some real work both offensively and defensively. We talked about Borrowed Time. Unctus's Retrofitter. I'll get it at some point. This is not a Toxic deck. This is the only card with Toxic in the deck. So Toxic doesn't really matter. Don't worry about the poison counters. But more importantly, when this thing comes on the table, it takes an artifact, or it takes any artifact and can turn it into a 4/4 artifact creature until Unctus leaves the battlefield. So that's a way of making these Malcator's Watchers bigger. That's a way of making Ginger Brutes bigger. That's a way of turning these map tokens or clue tokens into 4/4s in a different way. This can turn your Mandible Justiciar into a 4/4 and get more lifelink damage going on. It's a pretty useful card. I only got 2 copies in here. There were 3 at one point, but I think Case of the Filch Falcon does a pretty similar thing. So I think we can be fine just going down to 2. This is probably the best card in the deck. Zoetic Glyph. Turns any artifact into a 5/4, so that can again be all the ones I mentioned before. It can be those tokens, can be something like Ginger Brood or Surge Engine, just making them into a 5/4 kind of instantly. That's a big body. That's hard for people to take, especially when you're putting on something like Surge Engine or Ginger Brute that has evasion. And then, or you put it on Malcator's Watcher, which also flies and vigilance, and that can be really scary. Now you have a 5/4 that's swinging in and staying back on defense. And then if somebody targets it, yeah, you get the draw off of Malcator's Watcher, but then you also get to discover 3 off of Zoetic, and you're getting most of our deck is 3 here, so it's you're getting a free card out of the deal, which is pretty nice. 2 copies of Steel Seraph. I just love this card. I love it so much. Having you can put a 3/3 down for 3 if you pay the prototype cost, and this ability is great. At the beginning of the combat on my turn, one of my target creatures gets, well, I guess one of anybody's creatures, but you're really going to do it on yours, gets flying, vigilance, or lifelink until the end of turn. So it's a great way of giving something lifelink, or giving like Malcator's Watcher lifelink, because it already has the 2 other abilities. It's a great way of giving Mandible Justiciar flying, so it can swing over the top of somebody, or even just something vigilant, so it can stay back on defense. It's a really cool card. Rarely do we actually play this for 6, but you have the option to. You could also play this for 3 and then put Zoetic Glyph on it the next turn, and it becomes a 5/4 without having to pay the full 6, or you're kind of paying in installments, I guess, which can be pretty sweet. And then as far as lands, 6 plains, 7 islands, Deserted Beach, they're just to get some color fixing. Restless Anchorage, that's actually a really important card here. So it creature lands, nice, just as a way of having something to dump mana into in case I don't have enough cards in hand. But when it attacks, also the land that or the creature that it becomes is a 2/3 flyer, which is pretty useful. But when it attacks, I create a map token. Hey, the deck likes making artifacts, right? So making more artifacts that could be turned into Zoetic Glyphs or Retrofitters or Filched Falcon stuff is pretty nice. You could also just use the map tokens to boost things up even more. Tokens for Michiko. It's an artifact coming onto the battlefield, so if you attack with Justiciar and an Anchorage, it makes the Justiciar bigger before blocks. Pretty sweet. And then Roadside Reliquary. We have enchantments. We have artifacts. This thing can draw us a handful of cards. just by sacrificing it, or it's just a halfway decent land as well. So that is the basic deck. There's a side. It's not a sideboard. This is we're doing best of one. These were cards that used to be in here. That's that Combat Thresher that I mentioned. That extra copy of Retrofitter. I used to also have Curious Inquiry in here because it was, it's an enchantment that can then make artifacts, but it's not as efficient at doing that as Filched Falcon. It can eventually do more of them than Filched Falcon can, but you have to get in for that combat damage, where I think it's just more useful to get the artifact and the enchantment in one go. So that's our basic deck here. Let's take it into standard. I think I'm gold something at this point. Gold 3, gold 2, I don't know. So we'll take it in. Been having trouble with toxic decks. Anybody who's playing toxic has been tough to beat. But for the most part, I've been holding my own. All right, opponent goes first. We've got a turn 2 play. We've got a turn 3 play. We're feeling good. We got the colors that we want. Oh, sweet. And we got the Spyglass Siren, so we got a turn 1 play too. We're gonna curve out real well here. So Malactor turn 2. Oh, we'll see. I can't decide on Seraph or Retrofitter for turn 3. Probably Retrofitter. They're playing Esper. Another Michiko is nice. He hasn't played cards. You're gonna counter that, right? Yeah. No. No? Okay. Let's just give that to Malactor. Pretty sweet so far. We could Seraph next turn. We could just double Michiko next turn. Ooh, Surgeon is also pretty nice. He's got all of his mana up. Let's go Michiko, and he'll probably counter this. Yep. Ooh, and he destroys a permanent. Very nice, very nice. So that's not bad. How about screw you? All right, you're on the clock, bud. Yeah, draw that card. That's probably a mistake. I probably should have, yeah, because now he's gonna kill. Sacrifice a non-to. Okay, that's fine. Okay, actually that worked out then. Yeah, let's just throw out the beach. I mean, he doesn't have the mana for this. I think this game's over. But we will. Yeah, okay, he's screwed. I should have just attacked, but that's fine. All right, good game. That's what the deck does. It just pumps a creature like crazy, and then you swing in for big damage, and it's tough for them to handle that. Let's go again. Minty Fresh Boom is our opponent. I go first. That's a bad hand. We could play our case, but we'd have to draw something. I'd like to at least have 2 mana. We'll keep it. We can throw one of the Justiciars back. Spyglass. We really need to draw white mana. It's not a white mana, but it is a card we can play. Okay, now we need a mana of any kind, because we'd like to Zoetic. Didn't get it, but we can get another creature in. Now we've got our artifacts for Case of the Filch Falcon. You had to get 3 on the table to solve that. That's a big boy. There's our mana. That's perfect. Now we can use Borrowed Time, take that Polukranos off the field. And swing back in. Okay, that's a bigger threat gone. He's still got a lot of mana and a lot of cards. Yep, that's pretty good. Death Touch, Haste, and Ward. Okay. I think that's fine. I think we got to go for the damage right now. Let's put it on this clue. Let's also... Okay, another land. That's all right. Yeah, we'll just attack with everything. We can win this race. It's going to be a little harder to win this race now. Let's take the white source. Plains, please. Yeah, I might have screwed up. I probably should have played Glyph on Gingerbrute, and then I could have used Filched Falcon on the clue token. Or I should have saved the map token. So that's a little bit on me. We're going to get in for 3 here. I think we just got to play everything at this point. So we'll make sure these guys can't be blocked. And let's swing in with everybody. We'll get something out of the Glyph when he has to block the 5/4. So you got to take a trade somewhere. Oh, does that Kodama have reach? Ah, shit. That's bad. And the Polukranos does too. Okay, getting rid of the Glyph is fine because now we get to discover now, and we can also use the Filched Falcon. So that's pretty cool. I guess we can just take an island. Yeah. Another Filched is okay. Oh, that thing has haste, right. Ah, fuck, we fucked up. That's okay. That's okay. So he's going to hit us pretty hard back. We can still make 2 big birds at the end of this. Play an additional land, that's fine. Okay. We could use that clue token, but I think we're just gonna fly over some of this stuff. Can only... Oh, you can block 2 of them. That's okay. We get the Kodama off the table. He does have us in a bit of a pickle now. That's not great. That thing's big. That thing's very big. Yeah, I think we got a little overzealous, unfortunately. Okay. So we now make our Gingerbread into a 4/4. So he'll have to trade. And then let's also get our... we don't have an enchantment on the field, so we only get a card, one card. But that's still fine. And now we just attack with Gingerbread, so he has to block with the Axebane if he wants... If he doesn't want the... Yeah, okay, so we'll trade there. Happy with that. So he's still got to stay on defense. Oh, he had another Kodama. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, buddy. That's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, we're just gonna take that. That's our Pelucranos now. Let's play another Mandible. And then you swing with both. Everything? Yeah, you swing with everything. So he's got to make some blocks. What do you want to do, brother? Create a beast collar when you cast a creature spell. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't fly. Maybe you cast. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. He's running out of stuff. Oh, I should have used the roadside. That's fine. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. We got another ossification, so we win. That's mine now. Yep. Those are some real misplays on my part, but hey, we got the win, and hey, we're up to gold 1. Look at us. Look at us. Let's get one more hand in here. Feeling pretty good. This deck does some real work. Feeling pretty solid. Melcaster. Okay, I think we can Restless Anchorage 1. Yeah, it'd be nice to get the Filch Falcon out on turn 1, but I think we can go Restless Anchorage into Island. We've got a nice curve here. Maybe we just DCR turn 2. Yeah, I think that's what we do instead. So now turn 3, we can either Zoetic Glyph this, or we can Unctus it. I think Unctus is probably... No, let's get the other body on the table. So you want to block that? Yep. That's alright. We're getting the lifelink on it, so it's useful. So I can just kill all your little bodies as they come in. Let's go Filched. And let's go Malcator. And now we swing with everybody. Can only block one. So you're gonna take... Oh, Emperor, nice, nice! Yeah, I should have called that. He's got 4 open mana. Of course he's gonna do that. That's cool.
My judgment is final.
So take the 2, take the poison. I do like the Unctus here in that it scares people into thinking this might be a poison deck, and then sometimes they mess up and they
Show them
want to
how
kill
we
the Unctus so
greet our
bad.
enemies.
But the Unctus really doesn't matter. Okay, he's getting rid of a lot of stuff. Man. I think we actually anchorage here, so we can take out this Emperor. Nice. Okay, smart. We need... Let's go another blue source. And now we can still Spyglass. And we won't attack. It sucks that the Emperor gets more out of there, but we can still Michiko the Emperor next time. Michiko the Spyglass Siren onto the Emperor.
I have got new moves to teach you.
I'm less worried about that guy. Okay, we throw this down. Now we can... Let's glyph the clue. And now let's Michiko the Spyglass. And now when we attack, that goes over here, and these guys can just attack face. And see how you want to deal with that. He could throw down another Emperor. Okay, he just kills. But he gives us an artifact. He really wants to keep that Emperor around. Okay, not sure. I mean, I guess you gotta throw another creature. Oh, Sunfall. Okay, sure. That makes sense. Yeah, we'll take another Filch Falcon.
Guards, to me.
Well, that's a big old 9/9 right there because of my Michiko. That's a shame. What if I actually murder you? Goodbye. Sack, or not sack, but turn this clue into a 4/4. And now this Emperor is dead. How you like that?
Try not to miss me.
Gonna turn that in? You can do that at instant speed. You don't have to do that right now. I mean, I guess I'm open. He can hit me for 4 right now. 5, I guess. Because of the wedding festivity is gonna make that even bigger. But our Michiko is gonna become, what is that, a 6/6. And what if we actually made it a 7/7? He's still got enough for Emperor. Let's actually crack the map. No, don't crack the map because we fly. That's right. They fly, so they don't. So now we just come in for all the damage. So he's got another Emperor, obviously. Okay, Fateful. That's fine. That keeps Michiko normal. He still has the mana for Emperor, so maybe he's waiting on Emperor for Portrait to swing in. Farewell. Ah, okay. Well, that's certainly a thing you can do. I can draw some cards. No, I can't. I can't draw any cards. Oops. Sorry. I'm an idiot. That's funny. That's very funny. Yeah, buddy. Go for it. Do what you're going to do. Celestis. That's okay. We just kind of need a card. That's not a card. We'll bluff like it is a card. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. Yeah, we couldn't. It's kind of nice that we have the roadside there, that he thinks it is something that could be an instant speed just from the way the game works. Well. All right, you play this. Now we've got an enchantment out on the field. We can take the farm hand. Now we have an enchantment that we can sacrifice this and get a card. It's a Zoetic that we can't use until we get an artifact on the table. That's fine. That's fine. And you've really grinded this game out. But he's kind of in the same position. He can't do a whole lot. Well, now he can do a little bit. You're pretty down on cards. What do you discard? Depopulate? Okay, okay. Get lost that. We'll get something off the Zoetic. Get it right back. That's fine. I mean, we honestly, unfortunately, have to take 7. That's not great. That's not great. Yeah, I think we're done here. Spyglass can only do so much. We can drop all the maps. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. We don't get this. We don't get this turn. We'll just say good game. We'll let him swing in. Let him get him his kill. I mean, this is not a toxic deck either. He does not have a toxic deck, and yet we lost toxic damage. It happens. It happens. Should we do one more? Should we try to end it on a win? I feel like we should try to end it on a win. Let's go ahead and do one more. That was great. That White Sun's Twilight, huge deal right there. It's a nice card. But we were hanging pretty well, even when we had all those dead draws. It's a shame he blew up that anchorage so early. 2 lands, but they're both white, and we don't have any permanents. We can really play with that. That's better. That's a lot better, in fact. Let's actually toss the Seraph. Seraph is pretty cool, though. Lunarch. Okay, he's going to try to go for life gain. We can put out our Gingy, but I don't think we offer the trade, because we're going to try to build up bigger with Michiko. Maybe we should have offered the trade. He wouldn't have traded anyway. Oh, Voice of the Blessed. He is absolutely a life gain deck. That's scary. Are you going to try trading? Okay, you don't want to trade. So we can surge engine now. And now, if we get another land, we can Filched Falcon and Michiko. Or actually, we would probably just Michiko and... damn, this is some pretty efficient life gain. Okay. Now, I think what you do is make this guy unblockable. And you throw a Michiko down. And next turn, we can Filched Falcon and Michiko again for even bigger. Yep, that's a lot of life. It's gonna make him pretty big. Oh, we could just ossify this guy. Yeah, I think that's what you do. Ossify me, Captain. So that's even more artifacts on the table. Artifacts and enchantments on the table. Michiko gets even bigger next turn. I think we've outsped this life gain. Yeah, that's fine. No blocks. Now you Filched Falcon. And we Michiko again, and we say, sorry, bud. I don't think you got it. I don't think you got it. Yep. That's not gonna stop the, what's happening to you, though, bud. Because none of these guys can block, yeah. None of those can block the hasty guy. There you go. That's, you know what, that's a good one to end on. I feel pretty good about that. Oh, boy. I would like to get that. Maybe I'll play more off stream. You know what? We've got a little gold here. Yeah, we're gonna get more gold. I would rather get 3 packs at a time than a couple. That's it. That's Magic Arena. This is the deck. I think this deck is pretty cool. I think it's pretty fun. Maybe give it a shot. I think there's some cool stuff in here. But yeah, that's Magic Arena. This has been ChaseyKPlays. Thanks for joining us on this one. If you want to see more of me, if you want to see more of my face, I guess, you can go to twitch.tv/thecasualhour, where I do a podcast with my buddies Johnny Amosich and Bobby Pease. We're on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Time Zone, because I'm in St. Louis here. Mondays, Bobby and I will be playing more like strategy games, tactics games, card games. He's not a big Magic fan, so we don't play Magic, but we do play, you know, like Into the Breach and that kind of stuff. We've been playing a lot of Balatro lately, which is a pretty sweet game. I played that last week for ChaseyKPlays, and I'll probably end up going back to that at some point soon too. On Fridays, Johnny and Bobby are just playing kind of like the new hot video game. They've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2 lately. And then on Wednesdays, that's our proper podcast called The Casual Hour, where we talk about video game news, the stuff we've been playing. Last week, Bobby did a deep dive, which is where we kind of go in on one topic. Bobby did some research on like collector's editions and limited edition game stuff. And that was a fun talking about stuff like the Halo 3 Legendary Edition that came with the big Master Chief helmet, which I don't know if you can see it here, but it's back there. It's on the shelf somewhere. So that was a good time. Also, I do another podcast with my good friend Pierce Corshane. It is called Pilot Program. We watch the first episodes of every television show ever made We're only about 19, 19 episodes into our show so far, so we've got a lot of television to watch. The last one we watched was Shogun, the new FX TV show. We'll do some new stuff. We'll do some old stuff. The one we did before that was 1983's The A-Team, the Mr. T show. So lots of fun stuff that can come up with that. And then I think we've announced what our next one is. We're gonna watch the Vice Land or the Vice TV Desus and Mero show, and that's going to be our next one. So lots of cool stuff with Pilot Program. You can go to shows.acast.com/pilot program. Links for all that stuff's in the description, and check that stuff out because it's a lot of fun. Anyway, that's been me. This is Magic Arena. I like Magic so much, and it's nice to be able to play it online against some people and play with some cool decks. So until then, I will catch you for the next one. Bye.